Hello and welcome to Happily Ever Reality. I am so glad that you are here. Today we are talking about season 17, episode 4 of Sister Wives, and we're really talking about the end of it. There's already another video where I talk about the beginning of the show, but the end of this episode is where Christine tells the family that she has decided to leave Cody. So Christine invites all of the wives over to her home, and of course they're sitting in the backyard. Cody is there as well. She says that she wants it to be really private. She doesn't want to have all of the camera crew there. She wants it to be just the family. And so they film this scene with their cell phones. Christine is definitely the one leading this conversation. Cody isn't trying to be the leader of this meeting. And if you remember in the episode with the Zoom call, which I think was just the last episode, he was really annoyed that she, in his opinion, tried to lead the Zoom call and said she was being an independent woman. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous that he said that in the last episode. But here she really is leading it, and it's her conversation. I feel like she should be doing that. So she jumps right in and she just tells them exactly what she's doing. She doesn't, there's not a lot of greetings or chit chat, or at least not what we see. She just tells everyone that she has decided to leave Cody.
I have decided to leave. I'm going to leave Cody. Just leave.
Christine is using this super calm voice. And I'm going to have to go back and kind of watch a few seasons, seasons in the past. Was she talking like that forever? I'm at a place where I only remember her using this calm voice. But was this Christine always? I cannot remember. But she's using that very calm voice. She seems super confident in her decision. She's not emotional. This is what she's decided, which I think is really good. I'm glad she's at this place, because I think if she was crying and emotional, like she has been in the past over certain issues, they would be trying to talk her out of it. But the way she appears, it's like she knows what she's doing. There's no conversation to be had. She's just letting them know. After she says it, there's this moment of silence, and then Robin breaks the silence. And of course, Robin is crying. If you've watched the show, for a while, Robin's a crier. And she just is sort of I knew you packed up his stuff, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. Here's my question. Do you guys think that's true? Do you think Robin had no idea? Because I find it hard to believe. Cody tells her so much, and he spends so much time there. Do you think she really doesn't know? There's a part of me that thinks Cody told her, but was you can't let on. You can't let Christine know that you know, because that'll be another betrayal. And I know most of the time it doesn't seem to matter to Cody, but I feel like this was serious enough that maybe they did try to keep it a secret. But I don't know. What do you guys think? So Robin is saying how shocked she is. Meri is also mentioning, they show her in a confessional, and she is very shocked that this is happening. And I do believe that the most surprised person had to be Meri. Even though she's seen Christine be upset about not moving back to Utah, she's not a part of the family in a way that she would know how bad this relationship is. Cody doesn't go to her to share things the way he does with Robin. Janelle is so close with Christine. I feel like Meri probably was sitting there what the heck did I miss? But I also think Meri probably feels like that a lot. And I'm one of those people. I don't agree with everything Meri has done in the past and the way she's handled things, but I feel bad for Meri. I seriously got back into liking this show because I was rooting for Meri to leave. I'm there has to be a point she sees through what's happening. But Christine, she's the one who's came through for me. So anyway, Meri's sitting there saying she's shocked, and I do believe that's true. Now Janelle is I knew there were problems. I knew this was probably going to happen, but you can see it still makes her really sad. When she's talking about it, you can just tell there's this sadness that it's really happening now. So I don't know if anyone else gets this feeling from Christine while this is happening, but I feel like she genuinely wants this over with. I think there's two parts to it. I think one, she's made this decision. She's past the point of wanting to move on. She feels like she's being held back. I think this is just one more thing that she doesn't want to deal with, and she's ready to move on from. And I kind of feel that during the meeting. Like, she's like, okay, I've given them a moment. Okay, let's keep going. And then I also think she just, the topic, like, who would want to, no one wants to tell people this. Like, it's not a fun meeting, but I do think she's way past the point, this point. And this is like another hurdle, another, thing she has to deal with before she really gets to go. So I feel like she's just going to keep it rolling. Like, she's ready to keep the meeting they're having going. And she decides to explain why she's telling them now. And that is because Janelle has to move out of her rental. And Christina's like, okay, this is an opportunity. Janelle could actually just move here. Like, this home is going to be available. So the wives are talking about how, like, it's a lot of information. They're like, whoa, you've just told us you're leaving. Now you're bringing up her living here. Like, Janelle's like, hold on, wait a minute. But what's interesting to me is what Cody chimes in with. And I felt like he was just trying to prove a point without appearing as manipulative as he really is. And I want you guys to listen to this and let me know what you think, because this might be a thing where I'm like looking into it too much. So I want to know what other people think.
So is that what, Christine, you felt like you had to have this discussion with your sister wives because of Janelle's need to move?
I feel like what Cody's actually trying to say there is, Christine, you're not enough of a team player that you would want to include your sister wives in the decision for you to leave. Like, I feel like he's implying that, like, she was going to keep this all a secret. She's only telling them because now it kind of benefits her in a way, and Janelle. Like, he's acting like he's curious. Like, I don't feel like it's a sincere question. I don't feel like he's really curious. Like, is this the reason, Christine? I feel like he's trying to make the other sister wife see that she might have tried to leave without telling them. And I don't think Christine would have ever done that. So I just don't feel like this was sincere. I don't feel like it was him being curious. I do think he was trying to kind of hint to the other sister wives, like, look, Christine isn't everything she says she is. So I don't know. I think sometimes, though, when you watch this show and you start having feelings that, like, one of them is sort of the villain, then it becomes easy to think that about everything they do. So let me know in the comments if you feel like this was sincere, or do you think he was implying that she's not a good team player, like a part of the family the way she should be. So yeah, let me know. And we kind of also, as this is going on, we're seeing confessionals, and Meri cracks me up, even though it was not meant to be funny. She says this during one of her confessionals.
From my perspective, and maybe this is just because I'm a very black and white personality, if women are not married to the same man, you're not a sister wife anymore.
Yes, Meri, that is not just because you think in a way that is black and white. That is probably how most of the world views this. And I don't think Christine cares that she's not a sister wife anymore. I think she values the relationship she has with Janelle. I think she probably looks back fondly on some of the memories you all have together. I don't think she cares that she's not a sister wife. Like, I think she's like, okay, I'm going to be Janelle's friend. If I run into Meri somewhere, I'm going to say hi to her. But, like, that whole role of a sister wife, she's done. I think Meri is the only one, Meri and Robin, who they say, or at least they try to convince people that it holds a lot of value. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think Meri is probably the only one who I think is really looking for that larger family. There's never been a point where I've watched Meri and thought she shouldn't be in a polygamous relationship. I just think she's treated badly. I think she needs to leave because this is not the family for her. Robin says she likes to live like in a polygamous marriage, but I don't know about that. I don't know if I believe that. I think Janelle is independent enough that she's fine with whatever. Christine, though, needs to go. This wasn't the best situation for her. But Meri's probably the only one who I think would get upset about not being a sister wife. She needs to realize that Christine is fine moving past this. So Janelle really starts talking about how important Christine has been to the family. And she says this about Christine.
You've just been so much like the fabric of everything.
I'm just really glad that Cody got to hear that, because so much of his issues seem to go back to how mean Christine is to the other wives. So I'm happy he got to hear it. I wish it would have sort of came from Meri, but Janelle is better than, no one sticking up for her. But Cody acts like Christine just isn't cooperating and ruining the relationship. And like to hear Janelle say, no, she was a huge part of this. I'm just really happy she said it. And I kind of wonder what Cody was thinking when Janelle was talking about Christine's importance. So there is a confessional with Robin where she talks about her own divorce. And she talks about how awful it was and how it still affects her and her children. I am a little bit surprised by this. I mean, I get what she's saying. Like, divorce is never good, and she's not happy that it happened in her life. But the outcome was that she got to be a part of this family, and she got to meet Cody. And she has talked about how she wishes that she had just met Cody first. But, like, that's not how life unfolded for her. So a divorce was a part of getting to Cody. Christine is not happy, and she deserves happiness too. A part of getting to her happiness is this divorce. So while I understand Robin is like, are you sure? Are you sure this is what you want? You know what, Robin? The divorce is a part of getting to the happy place for Christine. And possibly Cody. Like, let's get real. He is not always a very happy person. A part of me wonders if it's just trying to maintain unhappy relationships. What if Cody suddenly is not with all of these women he's unhappy with, and he's just like a different guy? How is this also affecting him? Do you think he would still be the same person, or will we see a different Cody when he is finally with the woman that he wants to be with?
I'm not happy right now. I'm not happy with this situation. It makes me angry.
I didn't realize how interesting Meri's response to this would be, but it did get me thinking about her relationship with the family in her own individual life. I think Meri is the person, like she said earlier, she was bringing up the sister wives and how if you're not married, you're not a sister wife. I think for her, it is so important. And I've watched this show for a couple seasons. I've watched it for a long time, but really the last few seasons I've gotten back into it. I forget how important it is to Meri. Like, I am one of those people that's like, Team Meri, you need to leave. You can be independent. You don't realize how bad you're being treated. And I still think that. But I also fail to remember how important it is to Meri that she is a part of this like bigger family. I think she worries that if she leaves, she is going to be alone and sort of forgotten by everyone. When they talk about Meri, they don't always say the most positive things. I think she realizes if she leaves, she might not hear from Janelle or Christine or maybe even Robin again, particularly if Cody says bad things to Robin about Meri. If Meri was to leave, she might not hear from anyone. And I think that probably looks very lonely to Meri. And she's hanging on to Cody because she's also hanging on to the idea of a larger family. So she does look really sad during all of this. While they're sitting outside, Janelle begins to be the person who's talking the most. And she was really like lifting up Christine about how important she was in the family. But she also started asking some questions that kind of annoyed me. And I don't know if anyone else felt this way. So let me know if you did. I felt like there were some things she was asking that could have been saved for a private conversation. And the reason isn't because it should have had to have been saved for a private conversation. The problem is Cody. Cody is one of those people I think that's just looking. He's looking for people to like validate him and say, hey, Cody, you were right the whole time about Christine. And so when Janelle starts to ask about Truly, it gives Cody exactly what he's looking for. And I just was a little bit disappointed. I was like, Janelle, you could have asked this in private.
It's going to be fine. She'll miss everybody, of course, and it's going to be hard. And taking her from Cody is hard. It's hard. Don't get me wrong.
She's never going to come back?
No, you can't take her from me because we'll have to have a shared custody. It'll have to be 50-50.
I almost felt like Janelle saying she's never going to come back was a bit ridiculous. I mean, come on, Janelle. Christine still has kids living there in Flagstaff that they're staying there. Gwendolyn says she's staying. at some point, Christine will probably hop in her car and come see Gwendolyn, and Truly will come with her. You know what? If you're all such a big family and polygamy is so wonderful, why don't you pick up the phone and say, hey, Truly, come over and visit us. Savannah and Garrison and Gabe and myself, we all miss you. And honestly, Janelle, you're probably going to need to do that because we know Kody has a hard time picking up the phone for his kids, or at least that's what they make it sound like. So I just was really annoyed. I was like, come on, Janelle, this is not the time to ask something ridiculous that Kody can use to fill validation and bring up and throw in Christine's face. Of course, she can come back. Of course, you can go visit her. What is the deal? It makes it feel like the whole idea that their family is a fraud. It makes it feel like this whole thing has been a scam. Like, if they were a family, this wouldn't even be like a real question. Well, we'll work out visitations. Hey, she can come stay with us for the summer. There's a million ways you can work it out. And there was no reason to ask that. And not in front of Kody. Like, save that. And it's sad that I actually watch the show and think that. Like, don't say that in front of Kody, because I know he's just waiting for something to make one of the wives look bad, except Robin. Meri and Janelle and Christine, you have to watch what you say, because Cody's going to, listen and find that thing he can throw back at you. So I'm focused on Janelle's question because I was just surprised that she asked it, but we know what the real star of that whole little moment was, and it was Kody saying he wanted 50-50 custody. Are you kidding me? That would be an upgrade. His kids would see him more with 50-50 custody. It would actually benefit them to all separate and divorce Kody and then go get 50-50 custody, so he had to see his children. So this conversation is where things start to turn, and you see the conflict between Christine and Kody, and he actually says that they never discussed her. Well, hold on. He doesn't say they never discussed it. He says he never agreed to her moving. I know when I watched the show, I felt like he was saying, okay, I understand you want to go be near the kids. Like, I felt like Kody was kind of like, I get this. This makes sense. I understand it. I don't like it, but I do get it. He just flat out acts like none of that happened.
Talked about that I would be moving and taking Truly.
I never said it was okay that you were moving. You just talked about moving.
You did say it was okay we were moving. We had a conversation.
So you would have...
I thought that was really interesting. And I also started thinking about how when I've watched other reality TV shows, I think they are really scripted. And then I also think you're not seeing all of their lives. You're seeing small pieces. A part of me wonders when it comes to Christine and Kody and Janelle and Kody and Meri and Kody, you're really getting most of their relationship because he doesn't come over that much. Christine will say, I talked to Kody 6 weeks ago, and she's referring to a conversation that it appears that they shared with viewers on camera. So is she seeing him more than we are seeing them together, or is that really all there is? And I'm sure there's phone calls, maybe some smaller moments, but their actual interaction together as a couple, is it really that minimal? What do you guys think? Do you think they're spending a lot more time together, or is that it? And also, did you guys think during the conversation about moving, Kody agreed to it? Because I felt like he definitely seemed to be getting on board with being okay with Janelle, with Christine and Truly moving to Utah. I did think it was interesting that Kody kind of addressed what the actual issue was. And we know that Kody has some things with control. Kody has some control issues, and he sort of says that directly. Listen to what he says here.
The issue is from the beginning of this, she didn't ask me if I was okay if I didn't stay at her house. She just told me not to. She didn't ask me if it was okay if she moved my stuff out. She just did it. She didn't ask me if it was okay if she moved to Utah and took Truly. She just told me she was going to do it.
So that's the whole issue. If Christine would have just asked, he would have said yeah, and she could have left. The issue isn't that his marriage is failing, that he's going to miss her, that he loves her, that he's devastated, that this is altering his whole life. No, she just should have asked. That was the problem. Now we know. Just ask Kody before you do anything. He also implies that her decision to move to Utah is because she wants Kody out of Truly's life. I'm like, no, Kody. The issue is she's moving to Utah because you're just not involved in Truly's life. She's going to go take her to family that will be around her. If you were a strong presence in Truly's life, this decision would be far more difficult for Christine. I also think she might not make this decision at all. Your absence is a part of the issue. That's why she's going. But he tries to imply that she's going to take Truly away. So we are heading at this point into like crazy Cody territory where he's just going to start saying a lot of ridiculous stuff. And I already have this video at like 20 minutes. So I'm going to just pull out some good parts. But it's not just Cody that's saying stuff that drives me crazy. Janelle is not done yet because now she expresses concerns about Truly's relationship with her siblings, which would make sense if this was a normal family, but it's not a normal family, so I don't understand why she is doing this now.
About Truly, and I worry about Truly and Saul and Ari, and I mean the kids that Truly is closest to is Aspen and Mitch and McKelty and Tony and Peyton. That's who she's closest to.
I don't see how she would ever come back. I mean, Cody might go see her, Cody might go get her, but Truly is not ever coming back for a long period of time.
Janelle, pick up your phone and say, "Hey, Christine, I haven't seen Truly in a while. I really miss her. I know the kids have fall break. Do you want to come over? Would Truly like to come stay with us and give you a break?" You know, there's a million ways people make families work. Yeah, you might not see them every day, but it sounds like you guys don't see each other every day anyway. And you're bringing up Robin's children? We've already seen during this season and last season that Truly does not see them that often. So that's Christine's point, and I don't understand why now all of a sudden Janelle seems super concerned about it. And Cody, like I said, Cody's on a roll. He's going to start saying stuff that's just very Cody Brown. And he says he doesn't understand why she wants to move. And I thought this was really funny.
What are you talking about? This is home. I've never understood her need to move. She's not a member of the polygamist community. She's not part of our church. I don't understand it at all, unless there's some guy she wants to date there, or she wants to get away from me so that my stink isn't on her, so she can date.
Cody, it's not about you. And it's not about another guy or polygamy. It's about her children. She wants to go see them. She wants to be near them. She wants to be near her family. And they want to be near her. There's no other guy. It's not about moving into a new polygamous family. She wants to go be around people who will be there for her and Truly. You know, I'm not surprised that Cody doesn't understand that. I'm not at all surprised that Cody doesn't understand why she might want to move to be near her children. But Cody is not done yet. He starts talking about how now he's going to be the head of his household. Everyone will need to conform to patriarchy, and that he has spent way too much time worrying about everyone's independence and happiness. Yes, he has spent a lot of time worrying about everyone's happiness, and yet no one seems happy. I don't know, Cody, you're not doing that well. So yeah, it kind of just ends with Cody saying all of this ridiculous stuff, and that's the end of it. There is a moment where Janelle says, "I didn't sign up for patriarchy," but Cody says that she did. Like in the beginning, she believed in this. And that is the end of the show, guys. It comes down to Cody is now the head of the household, and he doesn't have time for people who don't respect that. He even goes as far as saying he will not invite people around who don't respect him. And you know what? Meri acts like he's amazing. Robin does everything he says. I hope Janelle realizes he's talking about her and her children, because Christine doesn't even want to come back. So Janelle, you're the only one left. There's going to be patriarchy. So I did save one moment for the end, and that is Christine, and she gives us this amazing line when she is talking about Cody getting custody.
He could have had 50-50 time with us the whole time we lived here.
That feels like the perfect place to end this. I'm definitely looking forward to next week's episode. If you haven't already clicked like and subscribe, please do so. I hope you will be back next week, and we will talk more about Sister Wives.